In the world of Hollywood, where dreams are made, a darker, more sinister story lurks just beneath the surface. It's a world where the mob's influence and Hollywood's glittering facade often crossed paths. A chilling connection that spanned decades. The stars of Tinseltown weren't just actors and directors. Some were connected to notorious criminals, shady deals, and organized crime families. Today, we'll explore the chilling connections between the Mafia and Hollywood, from its early days of Al Capone all the way to the Rat Pack's heyday. So, buckle up, because the story is as glamorous as it is dangerous. It all begins with the legendary Al Capone. Born in 1899, Capone became one of the most feared and powerful mob bosses of his time. His criminal empire spanned bootlegging, gambling, and even murder. But what's lesser known is how Capone's reach stretched all the way to Hollywood. The infamous Chicago mob boss did have some connections to Hollywood, but he wasn't directly involved in the film industry. Capone's influence extended to various aspects of American society, including entertainment. For example, he had ties to the nightclub scene, which often featured Hollywood stars and entertainers. One notable connection is the 1932 film Scarface, which was loosely based on Capone's life. Capone reportedly took an interest in the film and even sent his associates to ensure that the portrayal was accurate. Enter Louis B. Mayer, the powerful head of MGM Studios. Mayer was the man who made Hollywood into a global powerhouse, but his connection to the underworld was undeniable. It's been long rumored that Mayer had Mafia ties, most notably with the infamous mobster Johnny Roselli, a man who played a key role in Hollywood's mob network. Johnny Roselli, active from the 1930s through the 1970s, was a high-ranking member of the Chicago outfit, and his relationship with Mayer wasn't just one of friendly acquaintances. Roselli and other mobsters would often use their influence over movie moguls like Mayer to get favorable treatment for their various illegal activities. This included everything from skimming profits from films to pressuring stars and directors to participate in shady deals. One star who was intimately involved in this shady world was George Raft, a leading man in Hollywood's golden age. Raft wasn't just a tough guy on screen. He was a real-life gangster associate, particularly with Johnny Roselli and others in the Mafia. Raft's connections to the mob were well known. In fact, it's been suggested that Raft's rise to fame was partly due to Mafia backing. Raft's role in Hollywood was always linked to the criminal world. While he played tough guy roles in movies, off-screen, he was often spotted hanging out with Mafia figures like Roselli and even mob boss Bugsy Siegel. Hollywood and the Mafia had become symbiotic, both benefiting from each other, but with dangerous strings attached. The influence of the Mafia didn't stop at movie sets or the silver screen. The Mafia's reach also extended into the very heart of Hollywood's business side, the movie unions. Enter Willie Bioff, a man whose name became synonymous with Hollywood's labor racketeering. Bioff was a notorious figure who used his connections with the Mafia to control union workers and muscle his way into Hollywood's production process. His involvement in union extortion schemes led to significant control over which movies were made and how they were made, all through threats and coercion. His partnership with the Mafia wasn't just for financial gain. It was about controlling power and keeping Hollywood in line with their wishes. The influence didn't stop with smaller figures. Even the most powerful studio heads weren't immune to Mafia influence. Harry Cohn, co-founder of Columbia Pictures, was another key figure caught in the web of Mafia influence. Cohn, active throughout the 1930s to the 1950s, was known for his domineering personality and brutal business tactics. His ties to the Mafia were well documented. He had a close relationship with mobsters like Johnny Roselli, who reportedly helped Cohn with securing certain deals, handling the studio's unions, and keeping competitors at bay. Cohn's ability to get things done in Hollywood often came at a cost, one that many in the industry couldn't refuse, whether they liked it or not. In fact, his reputation for bending the rules and working with unsavory characters only added to his notorious legacy. And then there's the haunting case of Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia. Though Short's death in 1947 is still shrouded in mystery, one of the most chilling theories is that she was connected to the Mafia. Short, who arrived in Hollywood in the late 1940s with aspirations of becoming an actress, may have fallen into the grasp of underworld figures, possibly becoming entangled with men who had Mafia connections. While we may never know the full extent of the Mafia's involvement in Short's life, her murder has been linked to the darker criminal side of Hollywood in various conspiracy theories. Some believe her death was the result of a mob hit, a stark reminder of how deep the Mafia's claws sank into the heart of Hollywood. Then there's the infamous Bugsy Siegel, the man who helped establish the modern Las Vegas casino industry. Siegel, active from the 1920s to the 1940s, was a notorious mobster, but his vision wasn't just about controlling crime, it was about controlling the glamour and wealth of Hollywood. Siegel's connections to Hollywood were significant, and he was known to have had ties with major studio heads. In fact, it's rumored that he was instrumental in financing and creating many of the early films that helped the Mafia strengthen their grip on the entertainment industry. Siegel's rise and fall in both the criminal world and Hollywood mirrored the allure of the era. Fame, fortune, and danger all mixed together. In the 1960s, the Mafia's connections to Hollywood reached a new high with the rise of the Rat Pack. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, and others weren't just showbiz legends. They were, in many ways, directly tied to the mob. Sinatra, in particular, was known to have close relationships with mobsters, including figures like the infamous Chicago boss, Sam Giancana. Their influence in Hollywood was powerful. Not only did they star in films together, but they also frequented Las Vegas casinos and were often seen in the company of Mafia figures. Sinatra's ties to the mob were so well known that it became a part of his persona, a man who could charm his way into Hollywood's elite while maintaining a dangerous connection to the criminal underworld. But perhaps the most chilling of all is Joe Columbo, a notorious Mafia boss who took his ties to Hollywood one step further. Columbo, active from the 1950s through the early 1970s, was involved in multiple Hollywood activities, but most notably through his role in the Italian-American Civil Rights League. The League used its Hollywood connections to fight what they claimed were negative portrayals of Italian Americans in film. While Columbo's public persona seemed to be about protecting the interests of Italian Americans, it's clear that his Mafia roots ran deep. His connections to Hollywood gave him an unprecedented level of influence, allowing him to shape public opinion and even dictate the portrayal of the Mafia in popular culture. The chilling connections between the Mafia and Hollywood are more than just stories of crime and scandal. They represent a time when the lines between entertainment and criminal activity were blurred, when the Mafia helped to shape Hollywood's golden age from behind the scenes. From the power brokers like Louis B. Mayer and Harry Cohn, to stars like Frank Sinatra and George Raft, the influence of organized crime was far-reaching, and its impact on the entertainment industry cannot be denied. It's a legacy of both glamour and danger, and it reminds us that sometimes the price of fame comes with a deadly cost.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
If you found this video fascinating and would like to see more content like this, press or click the link titled Mob Stories at the top of this screen now. Also, I've interviewed fascinating characters associated with or involved in the Mafia. These include made men, associates, cops, detectives, prosecutors, journalists, authors, actors, and more. To view this playlist, press or click the link titled Interviews at the top of this screen now. This video is brought to you by Shooting the Dice. Please like, subscribe, and comment. The channel relies on your donations to continue bringing you videos. Please do contribute if you enjoy the content. Your engagement truly makes this community thrive. Thank you for being a part of it.